Okay, so a little more about our project. So when you think about another species of primates close to man possibly taking it over,
Yeah.
what kind of thoughts does it trigger for you in relationship to science fiction literature or your own beliefs?
If you're talking about other primates taking over the world, as in Planet of the Apes, I see it as something that's not extremely plausible.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have to help create the primates that would take over because there are certain things they simply can't do. And also, you have to think that you have to remember that there are different kinds of primates in terms of how they relate to each other. So, for example, they've done research on chimpanzees, and they've discovered that they tend to get pretty violent if certain things don't go their way. They're competitive. Bonobos are very cooperative. So, which of these two species are you talking about?
We would look hypothetically at another species that could either be discovered or come from another planet.
From another planet, okay.
Yeah.
See, then anything is possible.
Yeah.
So you could say, well, what are the attributes, the qualities that these creatures have that would make them capable of taking over? Are they smarter? Do they work well cooperatively? You know, people, I was talking about Darwinism today and the whole notion that it was based on struggle, the idea that everybody's in competition with everybody else. But civilization as we have it also depended on cooperation. So the notion that all evolutionary progress is based on competition has actually been discredited. That you need to be able to form a community and work together in order to create what we see outside our window, right? If you've got a creature who is too competitive, they'll never work together to build anything. They'll just fight with each other all the time. And so they would have to have particular qualities. They would have to be able to communicate. And there are forms of communication among primates, but language of our sort is almost unique to human beings. And communication is really important for building up any kind of civilization. See, one of the problems that a lot of science fiction and fantasy has had, especially fantasy, is that they often portray forms of technology that society could never have developed because they're simply wrong for what you're talking about. So you have these fantasy worlds with a medieval economy producing forms of technology that an economy like that would never create. So it's a very complicated question, and you'd have to have all the pieces in place. And I guess in science fiction, like the original Planet of the Apes series, what helps the other primates take over is that we're just idiots with atom bombs, and we wipe ourselves out.
Yeah.
And once we do that, it makes it easier for the chimpanzees and the orangutans and so on to take over.